Although I'm very skeptical about China, I think it's maybe time to begin talking about Chinese economic post-colonialism, like what China is doing in Myanmar and so on. But maybe it wasn't so bad, the deal they made with Congo, you know, to invest hundreds of billions of dollars, you maybe know better this, to basically to make a country minimally functioning, to build railways, universities, and so on. Immediately, you remember, army rebellion, the main point of rebellion in the east near Rwanda was not rights, whatever, but denounce the contract, abandon the contract with China. Why? Because this minimal unification of the country hurts the interest. So that's for me crucial to understand our predicament. When we spoke about contemporary capitalism, it's not just Western Europe, a little bit state, it's Congo. For Western Europe to be like it is in the United States, we need Congo where it is.
China.
And China, there's another question there. Yes, but so that's my first point. That and so here, when on the other hand, with you, you know, I admire your, as you said, Egyptian. This you remind me also of. I know you're not the same theoretic, of Wallerstein, who liked to speak in this, you know, large historical fresco, 200 years. I don't think we have 200 years.
I've never said
that. I think we are in 30, 40 years.
The struggles must be struggles of today,
catastrophe, yes.
But with the perspectives of victories quickly, of victories, not of the victory. Victories,
but still there is one problem which we should not neglect. Even Chavez is well aware of this problem, you know. You spoke about like the first wave, no? But as we know, the first wave, and here I totally agree with you, ended in something which could be fairly described as a fiasco, at least in Eastern Europe.
Well, we have
the reasons.
You took the example of Congo.
Yeah.
At the independence of Congo, Belgian Congo, in 1960, there was 9, not 10. Congolese who had gone through university studies after 80 years of beautiful Belgian colonization.
Yeah.
After 30 years of one of the ugliest regimes possible in the history of humankind, Mobutu.
Yeah.
This figure is 300,000. Therefore, I say that the ugliest regime of Bandung has done 30,000 better than in figure than the Belgian. Now, when you say that this has come to an end and that now the completely out of steam, now at the present stage, precisely because of that, Africa is important for the global system as a source of natural resources, to plunder the natural resources of Africa. To put it cynically, for the Western people, governments and dominant forces, Africa is important, but not the Africans. The Africans are...
You say the same about the Chinese.
Wait a minute. The Chinese in Africa, yes, some Chinese, many Chinese, the Chinese companies might behave like the Europeans want to plunder. But I think that there is another perspective, that the success of China during the Belle Epoque, the short Belle Epoque, 1990 to the collapse of the financial collapse, which was taking advantage within the logic of capitalism and within the capitalist imperialist globalization, is coming to an end, is coming to be out of steam. And therefore, there will be again the objective need, whether they will take advantage of it or not, I don't know. The objective need to rebuild the solidarity of the peoples of the South, Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This is on the agenda. To prove it that it's on the agenda, the CIA, the last report of the CIA, the world in 2025, considers that the exclusive 2/3 of the report is the enemy is the group of Shanghai. Because if it brings together China, Russia, Central Asia, Iran, and be attractive to India and Southeast Asia, that alone is already 70% of humankind. or something like 65. That this is the exclusive enemy and the exclusive danger. And I think that we have to take it seriously, how the ruling class of the head of the imperialist, collective imperialism of the triad is thinking. And they are thinking, they are seeing really the danger, and they are not seeing at all, China becoming the new hegemony which will replace the declining US hegemony and just play the same thing and so on, because the objective, not because the Chinese are better, not because the Chinese leadership is communist, they are not because of this or that, but because of objective reasons, because of the challenges which society. Okay, I could be very long on that, but perhaps tomorrow we'll have more time.
Yeah, but that's a short remark. Briefly, in my sense.
That's my second
briefly, yeah. No, but you know where I have a problem? Now I will say something horrible for some leftists. You named a couple of countries: China, Russia, India, India, Iran. Sorry, if I am to choose between these and United States, maybe I would choose them, but I'm not so sure. Look at, I don't care, democracy is not my big thing, but look at, for example, my God, workers' rights. You know, I was in China, they explained it to me, religion, screw it, do whatever you want. Ecology, why not? Just don't touch autonomous trade unions. You know what a friend showed me from China? He showed me the latest edition of their sacred book, the history of the Chinese, like our most beloved book, the history of VKPP, no? They have the sacred book, History of Communist China. You know what happened in the last edition? They left out, censored a chapter, which tells a very honorable story about the Communist Party organizing in the 20s, when industry exploded a little bit in Shanghai, organized workers for strikes. They censored this because it might give today people the wrong idea. So if you take this, if you take Iran, where Mousavi, the only hope lost, if you take Putin and so on, sorry, I don't see this as in any sense a viable alternative.
Putin, I'm not saying this one or that one, I'm saying China as a society, Russia as a society, Iran as a society, independently of who is in office today. But you are, I think that you are factually biased, because everybody knows, the American recognizing, and it's known, that there are strong struggles, social struggles in China. Much more than I don't know where. And more victorious. More victorious. More victorious.
Yes,
yes.
Very, because all I know is that, you know, that they explained to me, their party officials, that they have per year 2,000 of what they call in the future rate.
There are 300 million peasants. Yes. 300 million peasants organized independently of the Communist Party, but not against the Communist ID or anything. And de facto, the regional, the central power don't want to recognize them legally and negotiate with them at the national level. But de facto, the regional, the provinces, a province in China can be 120 million people, negotiate with them. Which means that the image of the Chinese society as if they were only the ruling class is as wrong as elsewhere. There is the ruling class, but there is also a people, and there are...
Like in the United States, like in Western Europe, if I may say.
But tell me, at present, in the United States, the peoples are continuously defeated.
In China, but just to add another example, then I stop. India, take India, it's the lover of the West because it's formally a democracy. But it came to me when I saw that stupid film Slumdog Millionaire, how regularly the police tortures the guy at the beginning. And then I was in India, I asked people, they told me, of course, our police is much worse than Chinese. They told me they are serially torturing and so on. In India, what is now happening is, you know that there is a new Maoist rebellion, 1 million armed people. We don't treat this in our media because India is good, it's democratic.
Precisely, we do agree. I mean,